Hey, what's up, y'all? Quick disclaimer. This is not clickbait. Yes, you saw that title. It is true, okay? And so I'm asking y'all to be nice. She don't do stuff like this, all right? She's never done a podcast before. She's nervous, all right? And we're talking about some very delicate topics here. I'm talking about everything from body image to depression to suicide to just a bunch of stuff, all right? So if y'all could just don't be dicks. If you leave a mean comment, you're gonna get blocked, all right? Be nice. And thanks for watching. Enjoy. Five, four, three, two, one. I'm dipping in the water and I'm trying to keep from going under. So what's up, y'all? Little Jonas Brothers for you. Welcome back to the No Chaser podcast. I'm Tim Chantarangsu. We're going to switch it up a little bit this episode because we have a very, very, very special guest. I even switched the whole setup. Normally we record on that blue setup right there. But I was like, you know what? The vibe, I think we need to switch it up. We're going to put it on the green couches because, wow, what a treat. For those of y'all who've been watching my YouTube content from the very beginning, this will be a familiar face. Literally, it's been like over even, I feel like over 12 years since I've even seen you.
Right.
And give it up for my ex-girlfriend, Iliana. Wow. How about that? How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And I sang that Jonas Brothers song because you really like that song. Or you were a big Jonas Brothers fan when we were.
I still am.
Okay, perfect. I've been talking about doing this for a while now. I just thought it would be interesting. I thought it'd be fun to catch up.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like I said, for the people who've been watching me from the beginning, you were like a big part of my early YouTube career. You know, my first couple videos that went kind of viral, like the first Asian boy video and that like how not to kiss video and the Twilight video.
The Twilight video is
right.
the best.
Yeah. So I was always kind of plopping you in my videos, right?
Yeah.
And so I think, you know, this is kind of we're together for 4 years. And I think this is a nice little like crazy, trippy, something to open up your YouTube and see, you know?
Yeah.
So I was pleasantly surprised that you were down.
Yes.
Why did you think? Why'd you decide to be down?
Well, I will always love you. You know, special place in my heart always for you.
I
you were
agree.
my first like serious anything.
Same.
And I don't know. I feel like I've had a few things happen in my life where I feel like if I can reach out to like one person and help them, that would make my day.
Okay. For sure. And that's another reason why I wanted to have you on is because when I was talking to Rick about like, yo, should I invite Iliana on the podcast? I went and creeped your Instagram and I was like, oh, she's been through some interesting shit in the past, like however many years, you know, some very like, I was like, oh shit, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And as I was kind of like checking out your journey, I was like, okay, I think she might want to talk about this in some type of forum, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it. First of all, let's keep it broad. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Yes.
Oh, let's hold that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, the microphone. Okay, let's do that again. So, let's keep it broad. How are you?
I'm good.
You're married.
I'm married.
For how long?
For
now?
2 years.
Congrats.
Thank you.
You know, one time, so I haven't seen you like since we broke up.
Right.
We've randomly communicated here and there. I think you hit me up one time to ask like what kind of like Thai food the grapao is called.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's still my favorite.
still your favorite. That's
yeah.
lit. I saw that on when you were like giving little tips on your IG like highlights. I saw like you had a little like low carb version of the grapao, and I was like, oh,
It's my favorite thing.
It's so bomb. It's the best.
Yeah.
It's literally like the best Thai food dish. I tell people all the time.
Yeah.
And one time, Rick saw we were at the Cerritos Mall. Me and Rick were walking through the mall, and we saw. Well, I didn't see, but Rick saw. He said he saw you and the guy you were dating at the time and your sister. And I don't know if she told you this.
I don't know.
Okay, but like Rick said, him and your sister both made eye contact and went, and then y'all just kept walking. So he was like, yo, that was, yo, he calls you Churi. He was like, yo, that was Churi right now with his sister. I was like, oh shit. Well. So you're married, and all right. Well, tell me about the crazy. Tell me about the craziness that we all need to know and be caught up on.
Okay, so I was diagnosed bipolar about 5 to 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been on different kinds of cocktails to try to find the right medication for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to talk about. I've been through such a long journey. They mismedicated me at first. They gave me Seroquel.
Okay.
And I had a really bad reaction to it. I got really depressed and I wanted to kill myself. I was really suicidal.
Mm-hmm. How long ago was this?
This was like 6 years ago.
Okay.
And
I didn't even know all that.
Yeah. Just one day I was like really upset and wanted to end it. And I looked over to my dogs and I said, nobody's going to love them as much as I love them.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's going to take care of them as well as I can.
Yeah.
And so I decided to live for them.
Good.
And that was it. Ever since
your
then,
dogs like saved you.
Yeah, they saved my life.
Yeah. I mean, you've always been like super animal lover, dog lover. Yeah. Yes. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. There you go.
Thank you. Yes. I love dogs. They saved my life. Ever since then, I have tried really hard to work on myself so that I could get better and that I could give them the best life. And obviously, my family is really supportive. But at the time when I was really depressed, I wasn't really thinking about like family and friends and stuff like that. I was just thinking about all the bad stuff.
Mm-hmm. And that's why, so you being depressed is why you decided you need to get like, just check that, like why, like you wanted to find out why you were depressed?
Well, yeah. Well, I've been going to therapy for a really long time, for like 10 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
I've always had anxiety and some form of depression. It just wasn't as bad as it was when I had the Seroquel.
Oh, I see.
The Seroquel made it really bad. It made me gain so much weight.
Oh, like how much weight?
Like 80 pounds.
Like 80 pounds?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You were always so petite.
I know.
Okay, so that must have been difficult for you too, for sure.
Yeah, it was really hard. I wasn't getting out of bed. I wasn't doing anything. Like he was my fiance at the time, my now husband. He was with me through the whole thing, and I was like not taking a shower, and he was like, "Yeah, you were a little stinky there for a second."
But it's okay though. I feel like if you're dating a depressed person, you're like, you gotta let them be stinky a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
how long were you trying to figure it out before you got your proper diagnosis and you were like, okay, this makes sense, and you were on, are you on medication? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how long it was because that whole time is like a blur. But I went to the doctor and I had a substitute doctor that day.
Okay.
And he was like really harsh with me, and he wasn't like gentle like my normal doctor was. And he was like, you know what, you've been depressed for a really long time, you've tried a lot of cocktails, like we're going to give you electric shock therapy.
Oh God.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was so shocked, and
literally.
Yes. Yes. I was so shocked, and I was just like terrified.
Yeah.
And I was like trying not to cry in the doctor's office, and then when it was all over, I walked to my car, and I remember like trying to be like brave the whole walk to my car, and then I got to my car and I broke down.
Yeah.
Like crying. It was terrible.
They do that?
Yes. If you have been depressed for long enough, and you've tried all these pill cocktails and they haven't worked, they do it.
And what is that supposed to even do?
I don't know.
Okay. So they tried the electroshock therapy on you.
They did not try it.
Oh God, thank God.
I got really scared,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
was like, something isn't right.
Yeah.
And so I decided to write down all of my symptoms and go through every single mental illness I could think of. And I found borderline personality disorder, and then I found bipolar.
Okay.
And the symptoms matched up to both of those, and I didn't know which one I had. So I took that to my regular doctor and my psychiatrist, and then he was like, yeah, you have both of these.
Oh God. Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have bipolar 1 or 2?
2.
Okay, so for those who don't know, because I'm not sure either, like what's the difference?
The difference is how long you're in a hypomanic state. So
Okay.
if it's like a week or longer, it's type 1.
Okay.
If it's less than a week, if it's a couple days, then it's type 2.
I see. Okay, and you're type 2.
Yes, I'm type 2.
Okay, word.
So I won't be able to sleep for like a couple days at a time, but I'll still have energy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you're feeling better now.
Yes, I'm feeling a lot better now.
That is great. You're not 80 pounds heavier.
But I'm still heavier than I have previously been. Like, I'm not at the small, skinny person that I used to be.
We getting old.
But it's because probably because I'm older, but also because of my medication.
Well, you have a good excuse though, you know? Like I'm just gaining weight. We all just gaining weight a little bit.
You look the same.
I mean, I feel like we were just talking about this. I feel like we still look great after all these years, you know?
Yeah.
And well, thank you. And so, well, that's another thing. I saw that you had the, was it like a keto carb? What kind of version of Kapow was it that was on your IG?
I don't remember.
Whatever what it was. So how did you lose your 80 pounds or how did you maintain?
Just started doing steps, like walking in place by my bed. That was the first thing I did.
Oh, okay.
I cut out alcohol.
Oh, wow.
And then
oh, okay. Well, I did offer her. I was like, "Do you want a shot of tequila before we come on?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Okay, maybe not." I was like, "All right."
I don't drink anymore because it has bad interactions with my medication also.
Yeah.
And then also being bipolar, it makes your symptoms worse.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is probably why when we were together, our fights got really intense.
Our fights were pretty intense.
Yes.
Yeah. I definitely feel like, you know, when you and me were together, at one of the points where I felt like this isn't working is when I felt like we were the worst with each other. Like I really felt like, you know, it was a side of you I didn't like. It was a side of me I didn't like. And also we were so young though, you know. I think we got together, I was 20, you were 18.
Yeah.
We were babies, just stupid babies. And that's, you know, and that was another reason I wanted to bring you on is because in doing the podcast, I felt like a lot of them can be kind of their own little like therapy sessions because we talk about relationships a lot. And of course, you were my really only, like my first serious relationship, right? And so I learned a lot. I made a lot of mistakes. But I think looking back on it, there's shit that I've learned now just as a grown man.
Yeah.
And conversations that I've had now where I'm like, oh, I may have gaslit her. Where that wasn't.
You did.
I did. I definitely did. Where there wasn't even a term like that back then, right?
Right.
Where, you know, where back then, okay, yeah, I was calling her crazy for like being jealous. But at the same time, yes, I did a lot of things that I feel like were the reason you were jealous, right?
Yeah.
You might have caught some messages on MySpace. And
Yeah.
I definitely, you know, I might have talked to a couple people, you know, in a way that I said some things that I probably shouldn't have, right? And I think looking back now, I'm like, oh, I did gaslight her. Like where I went a long time thinking like, oh, nah, she's crazy.
I was.
And okay, and you were. Okay, so I wasn't totally wrong. But that's not your fault. Because I made you a little crazy and, you know, and whatever you had made you a little crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to bring you on too to be like, hey, I'm sorry about that, you know?
Thank you.
Because, you know, we were young. It was a long time ago, but also like, you know, I think we probably became better relationship people because of the mistakes we made. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And you definitely made me. I mean, you were the first girl to tell me to put on some skinny jeans when I was still wearing very big jeans back then, you know? And I always tell the story. I'm like, man, I used to say I would never wear no skinny jeans until one day Iliana was like, try these. And I was like, okay. And you were like, that's hot. And I was like, okay, cool. Then I'll wear skinny jeans, right?
Yeah.
and I always tell people, man, that fucking the gazpachos in Morelia, the fruit with the cheese. I crave that shit, but I can't find it anywhere anywhere. You know, even the little like the spots out here, the fruit spots, like they never really have it like they do in Morelia, you know? So yeah, I always reminisce on that, like, God, man.
Now, I know a lot of our listeners make most, if not all of their money freelancing or running a solo small business. You probably love the flexibility and control you get versus the normal job, but hate the busy work that every solo entrepreneur has to deal with. Business formation paperwork, bookkeeping, accounting, and taxes. Now, me personally, I have a clothing line, and those are the least favorite things. Any type of paperwork, really. But that bookkeeping and taxes, somebody else, please. So if you're like me, pay attention, because at the end of this message, I'm going to tell you how you can save upwards to $10,000 this year on your taxes. So if you want to focus on your passion and not on your paperwork, then you have to know about collective.com. Collective is the all-in-one financial solution for freelancers, contractors, and self-employed entrepreneurs, especially if you're making north of $60,000 in a profit year. So here's what I mean. Collective handles all your paperwork. That's corporate formation and compliance paperwork, taxes, bookkeeping, accounting, even payroll. This is the perfect marriage of technology plus human tax and accounting experts there to guide you, help you maximize your tax savings, and take away the busy work. So think about it. It used to be that you'd have to hire several people to handle all of these things, a CPA, a bookkeeper, and even an attorney. Now Collective handles all of it at a small fraction of the cost. So if you've already made money this year but don't have an S-Corp election, right now through June 30th, Collective can save you thousands of dollars on taxes in 2023 because they're able to backdate your S-Corp election to January 1st. In fact, Collective members save on average $10,000 per year on taxes with this structure. So Collective is the membership that easily pays for itself and then some. So again, act before June 30th to save potentially thousands of dollars in 2023 taxes. Go to collective.com to save on taxes this year and have someone who knows what they're doing handle your setup, accounting, bookkeeping, and taxes, even your personal taxes. That's collective.com.
Yo, spring has sprungeth, and that means it's time to ditch that winter coat and break out the tank top. But before you book your spring getaway and go some crazy spring break vacation, twerking and turning heads all over the place, you need some fashionable luggage, all right? Trust us, you don't want to be caught with a suitcase that screams, last season. BEIS has thought of everything you could ever want in a piece of luggage. 360-degree gliding wheels, a cushioned handle, built-in weight indicator, washable bags for your dirty drawers and disgusting clothes, and all the interior pockets you need to keep organized. Their luggage comes in multiple sizes and colors, and for shorter trips, the Weekender bag is super functional. That's what they sent us. I love it. We got the sleek black one. It's perfect when I go for little 1-2 day college shows or whatever. Has a place to store my shoes separately. Perfect, okay? Whether you're packing for a quick trip or looking to breeze through the security line, BEIS has your personal items covered. And right now, BEIS is offering our listeners 15% off your first purchase by visiting beistravel.com/nochaser, all right? One more time, go to beistravel.com/nochaser for 15% off your first purchase. That's BEIS travel.com/nochaser. Do you remember when I went with your family, you know, when I was with you for that wedding in Morelia, like the cheese out there is different. So I was like shitting so much.
Yes.
And
my uncle was like, he's in the bathroom again.
I know, it was so embarrassing, especially since one of your bathrooms is like literally in the middle of the living room. So everybody knew.
Yes.
God.
It's and then the other bathroom was like super like old school. Like you had to like dump
Yeah.
it with like a bucket and
Yeah.
for it to flush.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I was in both of those all the time, but I don't even eat cheese anymore.
Really?
Yes, because it was like, my skin's always been kind of like fucked up, right? But I learned like cheese is the only thing I realized that it was like making me break out.
Oh,
And I
wow.
love cheese.
That's
so.
crazy.
Yeah, man. So I guess we both realized some things about each other,
Yeah.
You're bipolar. I can't eat cheese. Same
Same
level.
thing.
Oh, but speaking of food, another thing. Okay, this is some random shit that like would always be in my head. I'm like, I feel bad about that.
What?
And there was another time, I don't know if you remember this. I always felt bad about this too. Your sister, are you still vegetarian?
No, I
Okay.
was vegetarian for 3 years.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Okay, well, there was a time when you were vegetarian when we were together, right?
Yeah.
And your sister was dating some dude, and he was like fucking with you about it, like saying something about like, oh yeah, when they got the cows hanging and they
I don't remember this.
Okay, when they cut them open, and I remember like feeling like I was like just joking around with this dude, but you were like crying afterwards. You're like, why didn't you say anything? I was like, and I'll be thinking sometimes like, I should have said something to that guy. So I feel like I kind of took that with me in other relationships. I'm like, to not be so passive sometimes,
Yeah.
and to kind of really pay attention to my partners, like what kind of vibes she's sending out, because
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like I get so caught up in the joke or joking with people that I'm not really paying attention like I should be.
Right.
I also found out I have ADHD, so
Oh,
like,
wow.
oh yeah, look at us finding out shit.
Yeah.
So there was that. I was be like, you know what? Sorry about that too.
Thank you. I didn't even remember that.
Well, shit.
I didn't remember that.
There was one time somebody I was trying to contact you because somebody had left a comment on my YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And they were like, just so you know, your ex got into a really bad car accident and she's in the hospital right now. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was texting your old number, but you weren't replying. I was like, oh no. And then I was like all up on Facebook, like hitting up Courtney and hitting up whoever, like, yo, is she okay? Like, what the fuck? What's going on? Or is
Yeah.
this just someone trolling me? And they confirmed you were okay. So I was like, oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Because even though we hadn't spoken in so long, I'm like, oh, I don't want to hear that. you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely not. I mean, if somebody said that to me about you, I would be really concerned too. But yeah, no, people are weird.
People are weird. Did you ever get, I know, for a long time, especially when we first broke up, you probably got a bunch of like weird, annoying comments from like my supporters and stuff.
I would get like the Team Chia or like whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Team Chia, who cares?
Yeah, I know. I mean, well, that's the thing too. I think, we were together for 4 years and I was vlogging a lot, right?
Yeah.
So you were in the public eye. So you probably got just used to dealing with annoying comments, right?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really bother me.
Yeah. And you still make YouTube videos.
Well, I started making YouTube videos after me and my best friend, Courtney, we kind of went through depression at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And we helped each other out through that. And now we kind of want to provide entertainment to people who might be depressed or something. When I was depressed, the only thing that got me through a lot of the stuff was like pure entertainment. And by that, what I mean is like not like mean stuff or like not angry or like, just pure.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Disney.
Yeah, I mean,
Pure.
you put me on to iCarly.
Yeah.
That's still. Have you watched the new one?
No.
Did you know there's a new one?
Yes, I did, but I don't have that streaming service, and I already have so many
Yeah.
that I don't want to get another one just for that.
It's like more adult now.
Oh.
Yeah, like they like handle adult topics and stuff, but it's iCarly
Oh.
and the whole like group.
Cool.
And did you ever? And so I remember you started uploading YouTube videos and then you kind of like took like a long break.
Yeah. Okay. So our plan was to. Okay. So when COVID happened, I wasn't hanging out with my family or anybody at all because somebody in my family has an autoimmune disease.
Okay.
So we have to be extremely careful who we hang out with and stuff like that. And then when we were making the videos, we didn't feel like the quality was good enough.
Mm.
And then we were like, oh, also, like, we feel fat. So, like, let's take a break and, like, next time we'll get together and we'll actually do it. And the funny thing that happened is the whole time we were supposed to be getting fit and all this stuff, instead of losing weight, we ended up gaining weight.
Hey, man, COVID, it happened. It happened.
And so, so now we want to get together, and we do have plans to get together and do, like, videos and stuff like that.
Are you and Courtney?
Yeah, me and Courtney.
Cute.
Yes.
Do you ever get, like, randoms still, like, approaching you because they saw you in the videos, or is that, like, time long gone?
No, like, in person?
Yeah. Is there one ever, like,
I never
are
leave
you?
my house.
Oh, okay.
I never leave my house.
Right. No, I feel it for sure. I always wondered, I'm like, you know, because we were together for a while, right? So I always wonder if, like, to this day, and you look the same. So I always wonder if people are like, are you Tim's ex? Are you Iliana?
No, I got it for a little bit, like, right after we broke up.
Yeah.
And I would be like, no, that's not me.
I felt bad, you know, when we broke up initially, you were kind of vlogging a bit, and I remember I felt bad because the dude you were dating, like, the people were so mean, like, people were going in on him in your comments.
Yeah,
and I
but
was
that's
like,
okay.
But that's okay. Yeah, fuck that guy.
He's terrible.
He's stupid.
He's terrible. Oh my God, one time.
Wait, let's wait for this loud ass plane. Okay, go.
One time we got in a fight, and he was like, oh, why don't you go take some more pills?
Oh, God.
I know, and I was, like, crying about it. I was so devastated, and this was before I knew that I was bipolar, and so I was just depressed at the time and, like, trying all these different pills to try to see if I felt better.
Wow.
And I was like, lucky girl, whoever is next.
Wow. Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's stupid. Well, those comments were right.
Yes.
He is funny looking.
Yes.
You know, speaking of our, like, just crazy fights, I remember one time, it was so dramatic too. I remember, and like I said, right, I always felt like we brought out the worst. When it was bad, we brought out the worst in each other, right?
Yeah. But when it was good, it was good.
When it was good, it was so fun.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. It's like, okay, granted, you know, there were times where it's like we didn't maybe mesh with each other's friends as much or whatever. But I feel like when we were really just hanging out, us two, it was just pure fun and giggling and shit, you know? But I always tell people, like, one of the worst fights, this was me just being embarrassed of how I acted, because I look back, I'm like, God, how corny. I remember we got into a fight, and we were at somewhere, it's in front of a bank or some shit, and you, like, walked away from me, and I, like, grabbed your arm, and I was like in your face, and I was like, ugh, I can't believe I was one of those guys that, like, got in his girl's face. I was like, I look back and I'm like, ugh, yuck, you know? Just hated it.
I don't remember that either.
Yeah.
But I do remember one.
Yeah, tell me.
Where we were in your house at the bottom of your stairs.
Yeah.
And something happened. And you kind of, like, shoved me a little bit, and I grabbed your throat.
Oh, God.
And that was, like, my super fast reaction to whatever you were doing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what we're doing.
Interesting.
I don't know what we're doing here.
Yeah, you know, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe I thought it was, like, just some, like, kinky foreplay situation.
I don't know.
Maybe I thought we were just role playing.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
We just weren't good.
Yeah,
we weren't good together.
Weren't good together. No. What's up, y'all? Today's podcast is brought to you by Juneshine. Juneshine, which is now one of my new favorite go-to adult beverage options. Look, I love kombucha. I love drinking. And here it is together in a sexy little can, all right? Juneshine, super delicious, better for you alcohol, okay? It's made with only real premium ingredients, and unlike most alcoholic beverages, it's light and refreshing. It's made with premium ingredients that taste amazing and have no added sugar, unlike your traditional canned cocktails that typically have like 20 grams of sugar, tons of calories, and cheap liquor, all right? Best of all, it doesn't leave you with that I just drank a lot of sugar feeling, and it gives you a lighter,
brighter buzz. I'm sipping this mango daydream and it is delicious, okay? Juneshine can be found in over 10,000 stores across the country. It's available at all the retailers you're already visiting for groceries and alcohol, like Whole Foods, Target, Ralph's, Vons, Albertsons, Kroger, Weckman's, Total Wine, Bevmo, Safeway, and more, all right? We've worked out a special offer for our listeners. At any store, you can buy one Juneshine package and get the second for only a penny, 1 cent. That's $12 to $20 in value. And I recommend trying one of their best-selling variety packs. It's a great way to try all of their delicious flavors. So go to juneshine.com/nochaser. Text them a photo of your receipt and they'll Venmo you immediately, all right? It's that easy. That's JUNESHINE.com/nochaser.
I mean, you know, we learned
Yes.
from each other.
Yes.
As I feel like a lot of young relationships are, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
you go through this experience with another person, you grow as a person, and you look back and you're like, okay, these are the things I did wrong that I'll never do again, and these are the things I need to improve on.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is like, I feel like my parents, how did you feel that my parents felt about you?
I felt like your mom hated me, and I felt like your dad was okay with me.
So here's what's funny, right? That you say you felt like my mom hated you, because I know like the vibe was probably a little off, right? Maybe it felt a little off.
Yeah.
But when we broke up, my mom was like, "Why did you break up with her? Why did you break up? I really liked her." I'm like, "Mom, you guys were so weird around each other."
Yeah.
Oh, here's a funny story too. Let's talk about this, right? Because, you know, the night we broke up,
Uh-huh.
I always remember feeling like we had this huge fight, but we both kind of like felt like it was coming already, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember whatever it was about, I remember being like, well, you know what? You know, maybe let's not even do this anymore, right? And I remember thinking, yeah, I broke up with her. It was done. And then I forgot when we actually talked about it, maybe like a month later, but you told me that night you had planned on starting that fight and you had your whole squad of girls like at your house ready to console you and
Yes.
shit. Okay, break that down for me.
What do you mean?
Tell me like, because, you know, obviously I didn't know that was what was going on until after the fact. But like, so how did that work? Like, we're like, okay, so.
Well, clearly things weren't going so hot between us.
Right.
And then I was just like, before I broke up with you, I kind of like emotionally detached from you.
Same, yeah.
And then I remember just being like, okay, today's the day.
Mhm.
And I called my best friend Courtney and another girlfriend of mine, and they came over and I called you and we kind of like broke up.
Yeah.
And they were just there.
I remember what the fight was.
What?
I remember the fight. There was a random vlog where I had made a joke about a girl's butt.
Okay.
And then you randomly brought it up because the vlog was kind of old. Like, I don't know, however many months old. And you brought it up. We're on the phone. And you were like, what's up with this vlog? You talking about so-and-so's butt. And you were like, I'm sick of you disrespecting me. And I'm like, I'm sick of you not being able to take a joke when obviously blah, 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 blah. And you're like, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this isn't going to work. And you were like, yeah, maybe you're right. And then that was that. But apparently it was all orchestrated from the beginning of the day. Wow. And you were like, I'm going to scroll through these vlogs, try and find something to bring up.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Sorry.
And that was sorry. That's why I'm like, I'll say like, yeah, I broke up with her, but then I'm like, I mean, I guess it depends on who you ask. You know what I'm saying? But, so it was like a mutual thing.
Yeah.
Our time.
I thought I broke up with you. You thought you broke up with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of, the universe was like, it's time.
Yeah.
These two, you know, they're in shoving and choking matches at this
Yes.
point. We gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Damn, that was so long ago. That was like, I want to say like 2009, 2010-ish, around there. Long ass time ago. You're married. I'm married. I
Yeah.
have babies now.
I know. I just saw.
Isn't that crazy?
I haven't seen a picture. Okay, so whenever I break up with someone, I
Yeah.
tell myself I'm never gonna look at their stuff
Good.
ever again.
Good.
And I never looked at your stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't keep up with you
Mhm.
until you messaged me recently,
Mhm.
and then I saw on my Explore page a picture of you and your wife and like somebody and a baby like at a hospital.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
he has a baby.
That's the recent one. That's the boy.
Aw.
I'm still figuring out if he likes me or not.
Aw.
But the girl, she's great. Yeah, she's so
Aw.
cute, man.
What are their names?
The girl's Veda,
Okay.
and the boy is Quest.
Oh.
But we call him Q.
Cute.
And yeah, those are my babies.
That's so cute.
I know. And well, you know what? That's great that you detach as soon as you break up. I creep on your Instagram every week. No, just I am secretly on your Instagram every night.
I don't post anything,
Yeah,
so
I
there's
know.
nothing to see.
Man, okay, do you have any, now I had you kind of in the public eye for a while, right?
Yeah.
YouTube. I feel like you probably had a lot of MySpace ads. People adding you on Facebook and shit, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever have that desire to do that like social media stuff again?
I do. I want to reach out to people and just, like I said, provide like a pure entertainment for people
Mhm.
and just have that outlet
Okay.
for people.
So do you want people following you on Instagram after this?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Follow her on
I would love to.
Instagram. What's the Instagram so they know?
Iliana Tinoco. I think it's Iliana_Tinoco.
Okay. And the YouTube channel.
Oh. I think it's Iliana's World.
And are you still gonna be creating videos?
Yes.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what else was I gonna bring up? It was a bunch of things in my head. I was like, I need to make sure I remember to bring this up. It's been so long, Do you have anything that you wanna fight about? No, I'm bullshitting now.
I don't fight. My husband and I never fight.
Never.
We never fight.
You gotta fight sometimes.
No, we never
Because
fight.
it's only been 2 years.
Okay.
Well, how long have you guys been together?
6 years.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. Me and Chia also like don't. I wouldn't say that we fight. Even like we don't really fight either. But man, look, once you start having those babies, it's for
Yeah.
sure. It gets a little more frustrating.
Yeah.
Because people are tired and they're frustrated. Are you trying to have any babies anytime in the future?
I don't know. It's just so different with me being bipolar and
Mm.
having medications that are really strong.
Right.
I would have to go on different medications maybe, and they might not work out for me so well.
Right.
So it just depends. And then also there's an increased risk of postpartum depression for me.
Oh, damn. I never even
So,
thought
yeah.
about that.
So it's a big deal.
Right. So just the fur babies for now.
Yes, fur babies for now.
How many-
And we are looking for a new fur baby.
Are you?
We officially just started looking.
Okay.
We wanted to go to all of the shelters and I don't know what that was. We want to go to all the shelters and find someone that really needs help.
How many dogs do you currently have?
2.
Cute. What kind?
A Chihuahua and a Rottweiler Beagle mix.
Oh, Chihuahua.
Yeah.
I got bitten by a Chihuahua on the ankle when I was 5 years old.
Oh, really?
He was chewing on a bone, and I was trying to play with him, so I was putting like a little branch in front of his nose,
Yeah.
and he kept like kind of just like brushing me off, and I kept trying to play with him like in the movies, and I swear to this day, I feel like he turned around and looked me up and down and was like, what the fuck? And bit my ankle.
No, my Chihuahua bites me all the time.
Yeah, that's what they do. You're
Yeah.
kind of like a little Chihuahua, aren't you?
Me?
If I could,
What? Oh my God.
I mean, if I could compare, looking back on our fights back then, Chihuahua energy for sure.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like this little cute voice, and then when you get mad, though, you want to bite.
Okay.
What kind of dog would I be?
I don't know.
I'll help you out because I took a survey
Okay.
in high school to determine what kind of dog I would be. I took
Okay.
a personality test. I'm a golden retriever as far as
Aw.
dogs is what
Okay.
the test said. And you're just a little rabid chihuahua.
Well, okay, thanks.
Or maybe a Pomeranian chihuahua mix.
Pomeranian, I don't even know what that is.
It's the little fluffy ones.
Oh, the annoying ones?
They're not, I love Pomeranians.
The ones with the bows and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't like a Pomeranian? You don't think so?
I don't know. They're not in the shelters, so I don't have like
True.
a soft spot for them.
Facts. Yeah. You always like the bigger dogs too, I remember.
Yes.
Yeah. How's family and everything? You know, my dad said you came into the restaurant one time.
Yes.
That was the last time I really remember, I think, talking about you.
I was working for as an assistant for like a little company in Long Beach, and they would have me go get lunch, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Tim's restaurant and get lunch. Yes.
Did you get some grapao?
I don't remember what I got.
I'll tell you this. Speaking of you and me having lunch,
Yeah.
I tell this story all the time on my podcast as well. I don't know if you remember the day I went to bring you lunch. You were working at some office and you used to eat lunch in the parking lot.
I remember this.
You remember this?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna tell the story again just in case you guys missed it, and I'll tell it for you since you're here watching. So yeah, I brought, you know, we both used to work at California Pizza Kitchen. That's where we met, and I brought, it was like, I think I brought a pizza, barbecue chicken pizza, and I brought some tortilla soup, and I was like, I got some tortilla soup. You're like, I'm good. So I had the tortilla soup myself, and I was like, I'm gonna go pee around the corner because we were outside in the parking lot, so I wanted to go pee behind a bush. And as I was peeing, I was like, you know, you pee, you gotta fart sometimes. So farted, and I was like, man, this fart is mad hot. It's like super hot. And then I was like, oh my God, is that tortilla soup? Did I just shit out the tortilla soup that I just ate? But it wasn't even poop. It was like all soup, you know? And then so I remember thinking like, damn, Iliana's in the car right now waiting. So all I could do was like, I got completely naked, well, bottomless, used the underwear to clean myself up, threw it on the corner in a bush somewhere, put my pants back on, and I got back in the car, and I was like waiting, like, I was thinking like, should I tell her I just like shitted myself? And I remember just sitting being like, you were telling me something, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, you know what's funny? I just pooped out all my tortilla soup. And I remember you being like, oh my God. Yeah. I think you were probably one of the only people that, you know, maybe you and Rick, that I've been in the car with right after I shit myself. So
It's happened more than once.
yeah, it's happened a couple times. Well, I think, you know what? You and me is the only time I've like full out shitted myself. And then even though it wasn't even poo, it was all soup.
Yeah.
With Rick, it's only been like a shart,
Okay.
like a little accident. You and Rick got along too.
Yeah, I love Rick.
Yeah, I think.
I miss him.
Yeah, man. Rick is still one of my bestest buddies.
That's good.
We do this podcast together every week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you know, I think when we were together, you know, like I mentioned earlier, our friends didn't always mesh, but you and Rick, you guys always got along.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
He was around a little too much for my taste.
Oh yeah, that was one of the fights.
He was around a lot.
Yeah, well, you know, that's my boy. That was one of our arguments.
Courtney was never around nearly half as much as Rick was around.
Because Rick's way cooler than Courtney.
Okay.
But yeah, that was one of our fights where you were like, yeah, you're gonna be with your girlfriend again. You're gonna go hang out with your you're taking your
with him
girlfriend
more than you were with me.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But look, he's still around, so
I'm around too, kind of. I like your wedding ring.
Thanks. I wanted to keep it simple. I knew I'd
Yeah.
be like losing. I lose shit, you know? So
Yeah.
I didn't even want anything like expensive, you know?
Yeah.
Just kind of like keep it real simple.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh, you just reminded me
What?
of one of our most annoying arguments. I chalked this up to us being really young.
What?
I forget how long we were together for. But it couldn't have been that long. But you were like, you know, my sister and her friends were around and they were like, Tim hasn't bought you any jewelry yet?
Oh.
And I was like, ugh. I was like, God, what an annoying argument to have right now. But you know, here's the thing too, right? Looking back on it, there is stuff that, you know, I was really inexperienced in relationships, right?
Yeah.
I feel like now, well, yeah, obviously, like, you know, I've been in a relationship for a really long time now,
Yeah.
been married and shit. But like back then, I feel after we broke up, I was probably like, if I was seeing somebody, I was more likely to be like, oh, okay, maybe I should get her some little cute little bracelet or something now, right? Because
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's shit that girls like that I don't even think about, right?
Yeah.
And so even though, yes, it was a very annoying thing back then, I was like, oh, okay. It did put some things into perspective, right?
Yeah.
How would you say you've changed the most from when we were dating?
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
As far as like, well, let me ask you this. In your current relationships, what did you be like, I regret doing this with Tim. I'm not going to do it now.
Okay. I think the whole hanging out with friends thing, I was like really annoying. When you would hang out with friends, I would be like mad about it. And that's not something that I do anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you let him have his little guy time?
Yeah.
For sure. You enjoy your girl time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never leave the house though.
That's
I'm telling
true.
you.
That's
never
true.
leave the house.
I mean, hey man, who really needs to leave the house anymore? I mean, I feel like now compared to back then is a completely different time of our lives too.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell people I hate when people hit me up spontaneously to hang out. I'm like, dude, you got to give me like 2 weeks notice, you know?
Yeah, especially with babies.
With the babies now, I'm like, give me a month's notice,
Yeah.
you know? And I always tell them, I'm like, now I'm not leaving the house unless honestly, like, I'm getting paid, you know? Because it's like, for what, bro? Like, go drink. I don't even like you like that, you know? Why go drink with it and have small talk for what? You know what I'm saying? It's all just so pointless now, you know? Were you ever concerned after we broke up, like when you were in the dating realm, that somebody would see the videos or like watch the vlogs or the skits or whatever?
After the guy after you,
Mm-hmm.
I was with that guy for 4 years, and then I was single again.
The white boy, you was with him for 4 years?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It was terrible.
Damn. And you were single again? Okay.
Yeah, I was single again. I was nervous about people like Googling me or like, you know, like just finding me through you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It was a little embarrassing.
No, I get it.
Not because I love what we did together and I thought it was super fun and it's just fun. But I don't know. I feel like I get embarrassed really easily. And that was one of the things that I was like embarrassed about.
No, I get it. I mean, especially look, you weren't necessarily about that life, right?
Yeah.
And even me being about that life, there's videos I went back and privated, not the ones with you, but like, well, yeah, I did a private a couple of hours, but there's just videos I've done with the homies that I'm like, oh, private.
Yeah.
This is not for me anymore. You know?
Yeah.
So I get it. And I always kind of wondered that too, if like, that would be like an annoying thing or something you kind of worried about, like, oh God, like this person recognized me from these videos, you know?
No, I mean, now that I'm married, I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
But when I was dating, yeah.
So did your parents hate me when we were together or what?
No, they didn't.
Okay.
They really didn't. You know who hated you?
Who?
My sister.
You fucking lying! No way. Did she really?
She didn't hate you.
Yeah.
She didn't hate you. There were a few moments where she was like, okay, this is a little far.
Yeah. As far as what?
Okay, so one time specifically, apparently we were in Vegas for my 21st birthday.
Okay.
and you ran into somebody that you knew.
Okay.
And you were like, wow, look at you. You're looking good. And you twirled her and in front of my sister.
Okay.
And she was like, oh, Iliana, Tim did this. And I was like, no, he didn't. I didn't believe her.
Oh, man. Well, here's what's funny is I never thought that she didn't like me, but I knew that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Even in terms of like sense of humor wise.
Right.
Because one time she snitched on me in front of your parents. Oh, I was so annoyed by this. I had this air freshener, and look, now looking back,
okay.
I wouldn't just have this hanging, especially at your parents' house.
Right.
But I had this air freshener that I got from fucking, I don't know, Hot Topic or Spencer's or whatever that said, I love my penis, right?
Yeah.
And then your sister, out the blue, when I'm at your parents' house, when I'm already feeling like, I feel like your dad, like, I never felt like your dad hated me, but I also felt like same shit. Like, I don't think we vibed,
Yeah.
And then, like, your mom always laughed at my jokes, but your dad was a little tough.
Yeah.
So one day your sister was like, yeah, have you seen Tim's car? I was like, oh my God. I was like, why even bring that up? I was so annoyed, but Syra. Oh, well, that's fun. That's fun to know. Well, well, thanks for coming. Is there anything else you want to address or air out, or any beef you want to squash?
No.
Okay.
There's nothing that I remember that we would have like a problem over.
Yeah, nah, same. Me neither. I think, it was never any crazy drama, right?
Right.
It was like little drama. Like, yeah, us getting into like really annoying that turned into intense fights, right?
Yeah.
So, I always tell people this story too, how you fucking like, you were so masterful with how you would catch me and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like one time.
I was good.
So good. One time, I went to the club with the homies. So I'm just going to go to the club. And you're like, don't dance with anybody. I was like, I'm not going to dance with anybody. And then afterwards, you were like, so my friends were at the club and saw you dance with that girl. And I was like, oh my God, it was like for 20 seconds. And you were like, yeah, my friends weren't even at the club. I was like, God, she tricked me, bamboozled me. Yeah.
I shouldn't have even like outed myself. I should have just kept that to myself and reused it.
Yeah, you should have.
I was so like upset that I was just like, ah.
Yeah, I think for me, that's something too that I also took from that relationship. I'm like, girls be lying. Wow. It's like, you gotta be careful, bro.
You're lying too.
I know that.
Oh my
but
gosh.
still, you are lying in a deceptive way. I'm lying to keep us happy.
No.
Shit. Well, hey man, I'm glad we could do this.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're doing good.
Thank you.
Help.
I'm glad you're doing good, and I'm glad you have a cute little family.
Thank you.
And I'm Team Chia too, by the way.
Thank you.
So...
Thank you. And I'm team, like, just I'm glad that like you're mentally good. I'm glad you got it all like figured out.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we could have this conversation and catch up. It was nice.
Yes.
Well, hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this little catch up with my lovely ex-girlfriend, Iliana Tinoco. Make sure you follow her on everything. If you leave any mean comments, I will delete and I will block you, okay? Be nice. She doesn't do this, all right? So, hey, thank you. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that bullshit. Follow her on everything. Any last words?
Love you.
Love you. Take care. This has been No Chaser Podcast. I'm Tim Chantarangsu. I'm Ricky Blades. Bye.